It's a very simple equation. If 8 billion say no, then the tiny few trying to manipulate them cannot make them do things that they want them to do. They simply can't. The numbers game alone just destroys the ability of the few to manipulate the many. And there are far, far more people now than there ever has been who are deeply skeptical of authority and doing what authority tells them. And, you know, you've got a very, very vehemently angry group, which doesn't get the opportunity to express itself, but you can see it if you look around. And they are the people that did do what they were told. And they are very, very angry at what's been done to them and how they've been manipulated. So, you know, you put that lot together and you're talking about a very, very large number of people, more than ever before, who are skeptical enough of authority and suspicious enough of authority and have no confidence in what authority tells them, that they won't be an easy push next time. So it's more and more difficult for them. And so what they're trying to do is to create dependency on the authorities through economic collapse. That's in part what in massive part actually, what the lockdowns were about.
In his latest interview, writer and broadcaster David Ike outlined what he believes are the final plans of the elites, including BlackRock, to engineer a total economic collapse. He argues that the system is intentionally designed to create endless cycles of boom and bust, benefiting a wealthy elite while exploiting the general population. Ike warns that unless people wake up and actively resist, they, and future generations, will be subjected to a global fascist dictatorship characterized by constant surveillance and control. He believes the elites will use economic collapse as a tool of control, making people more dependent on the system and willing to sacrifice their freedoms. Stay tuned until the end of the video to hear Ike share a message of hope. There are more of us than them, and if enough people resist, we can prevail.
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
They knew this was going to be the case. And what they've done by justifying stopping pipelines and fossil fuel excavations and looking for new sources on federal land, for instance, in America, and moving away from fossil fuels to totally inadequate so-called alternatives, is they've created an energy dependency on outside sources. What they've then done is systematically provoke those sources, in this case Russia, to do what they've done. They then say we have to have sanctions against Russia because of what they've done. And the effect of those sanctions is not to harm Russia, it's to harm the Western economy and people living in the Western world, which the whole plan is to dismantle Western society, which is what I've been saying for all these years was the plan. So when you are focused on trying to put food on the table, trying to afford fuel to do what you need to do, then your focus is on that, and it's not on many other things that would be detrimental to the cult if the focus was on that, like what the hell is going on and who's doing it to what end. So that they are throwing at us everything to break our spirit. That's what basically the collective reason for everything is to break our spirit so we become subservient to do what we're told. And that's what I've been saying all these years is the plan to dismantle the economy, to stop the ability of people to have an independent income, independent of the authorities, so that they can introduce a guaranteed income on the basis of there's no other way that people can earn anything because everything's fallen apart. And this guaranteed income will come with the proviso that to get it, you've got to conform. And if you don't conform, you won't get it. And by the way, how else are you going to earn money to put food on the table? Because we've destroyed everything else. That's the plan. That's what the World Economic Forum plan and Klaus Schwab is all about. And they're telling you that now, that that's what the plan is. They're the centralization of power over every area of our lives and the dictatorial imposition of that power. That's what it is. I mean, you know, if you are in a position whereby the food chain is being dismantled, the food supply chain, and then you tell Dutch farmers in a country that's the second biggest exporter of food in the world that you are going to introduce rules and regulations that will absolutely destroy them, and then you're going to take their land away, then you're not making a mistake. This is not incompetence. This is coldly calculated. But there's other ways of looking at this. For instance, if you were being subtle, you wouldn't do something as obvious as what they're doing in Holland. And they want to do something similar in Canada, of course, and elsewhere. You wouldn't do that. You try to hide it. But when you come out and say, we're introducing this legislation which is going to destroy farmers, and everyone knows it's going to destroy farmers, well, that's not trying to hide it. And I think one reason for that, may not be the only reason, but one big reason, is these people are now in a state of panic. You see, when you're hiding what you're doing under the radar, you can kind of relax because you're pushing your agenda on, but you're not alerting anybody. So the pushback is, I mean, I know this because I've been pushing back for 32 years. I know how little pushback there's been over the years up to this point. Because people, they couldn't directly see it. They didn't directly experience it. So I'm not really bothered, mate. Oh, it's just a theory. But there comes a point, I said this was coming a long time ago, where if you're going to change society in the way that you want, there comes a point where society changes in the way you want. You can't hide it anymore. So what you have to do is move from hiding it to selling it. And this is what these lunatics at the World Economic Forum and others have been doing. They've been trying to sell it as a good thing. You'll own nothing, but you'll be happy and all this. However, once you break the surface and you put yourself on public display, which is pretty much what happened in the first few months of 2020. So they put themselves on public display. I said in one of those early interviews in 2020 that these people have now entered the room where they can be seen, and they've just heard the frickin' door click shut behind them. And that's what's happened. And so now they are having to try to get the points of control that could not least through AI into place as fast as possible, because they know that the longer they take to really shut everything down, the more people are going to awaken to what they're doing and the more trouble they're going to be in. So they're trying to rush it. Look at the speed they're trying to bring everything in. And in many ways, the Dutch government just announcing we're going to destroy farmers in the second biggest exporter of food in the world is an expression of that panic, of that need to push on, because they know that the longer they take to do it, now they're on public display, the more or less chance they have of reaching their goal, because enough people will wake up and see it and stop cooperating with it. So, these are interesting times. And, terrible as they are, there's an enormous amount to be encouraged by. I mean, if people were now as asleep as they were in the spring of 2020, we would be up the creek without a bloody paddle. We'd be up the creek without a canoe. But that's not the case. So there's lots of things to be encouraged by, as well as lots of challenges.
David Ike has shared some truly eye-opening insights into the manipulation tactics of the elites and the challenges ahead. But remember, knowledge is power, and together we have the strength to make a difference. If you found this video valuable, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. It's a simple action that helps us reach more people and keep you updated on the latest in finance and global affairs. As David said, we are many, and they are few. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, the power to create change is in our hands. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.